Hello, hello, it is the Trading Captain, and I'm currently sitting down $17.83. Now, I only took 2 trades today, and the losses were a bit higher, but that's not necessarily anything with sizing issues. I did size up today as I said I was going to. I traded with 7.5% capital allocation per trade, and these losses were just naturally going to be a bit bigger as a result. If I was trading with the size from yesterday, or I suppose the day before, this would have been roughly a $12 loss, so it's actually not that bad. Now, something I want to touch on before I actually go over the trades is a lot of times we like to associate green days with we did something right, and we like to associate red days with we did something wrong. And I think that's fair that you should always be asking that question, but we should always be careful about making bad assumptions. And really, I want to look into the argument today that today was bad variance, not execution. So the first thing I want to show here is that these are my canceled orders for the day. And I had a decent amount of orders. These were orders that I put out trying to get a fill and didn't get filled, meaning that my entry was very close to getting executed. Now, to me, that tells me that this could have just been an unlucky instance where I was trying to engage with several stocks and I was just getting a little bit off from the actual entry. And yeah, overall, a lot of the stocks that I was trying to buy did end up bouncing. If I go ahead and pull up one here, Raya. Wow, this is actually crazy. Yeah, this was a Chinese stock, so in hindsight, not surprising. But during this initial pullback here, I did actually get involved on this final leg down, and I was anticipating this pop, but I was just slightly too early. I got in here. Let me go ahead and look at the exact price. Got in at 325. So I got in right here. So in hindsight, this was an excellent entry. But as I saw that I didn't time the bottom and it looked like it could have been rolling over without me, realistically, I had to cut the trade. If I had just been maybe an extra 10 cents lower, I would have had the cushion to hold through this drawdown and actually capitalize on this bounce back up. But again, just a little bit unlucky with that timing. I don't think it's a skill issue per se, because this is a pretty drastic pullback, right? Going from essentially 420s down to $3. Like, this is an insane pullback considering this move up, and even on lower volume too. So this looked like a great setup to me. I don't think it was execution-wise a mistake. Maybe the one thing you could critique me on is that this was a Chinese company, and as a result, right, I always tend to be more skeptical of that. I didn't identify this as a Chinese stock at the time. I was mostly just looking at the move and the catalyst. So that's one thing maybe you could hold against me. The other one that I did trade, and this is, again, a very unusual move. Let me go ahead and find it here, SDKH. And this was a very big overreaction, going from, right, 370s all the way, or 320s, all the way down to 193 in 5 minutes, no less. This is an incredibly intense move. And while I was trying to capitalize on this breakdown, this was just something I probably couldn't have predicted. So to me, it seems like these moves were larger than normal, and I don't want to critique me too hard on that. I just want to point out that these were abnormal moves today. And going into next week, I'm pretty happy with where I'm standing, right? I'm still overall up. The account is still green overall. So I think I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. Be careful going into Monday, because I have had a red day, so I want to make sure that I am still trading appropriately, not revenge trading. So with that said, I'm going to keep 7.5% size and going into Monday and see how we do. That pretty much wraps up my recap. If you like what you saw here, please do leave a like, helps me out, and I will be back next week. Take care.